Believe the hype. Spider-Man Brand New Day is single-handedly the best Spider-Man movie to date. Yes, better than Spider-Man 2 and better than my original favorite in No Way Home. And honestly, if anybody gives this movie lower than an 8.5, you literally have no idea what you're talking about, and you should probably stop watching superhero movies and MCU movies altogether. Finally, a comic book movie knows how to be a comic book movie. It really felt like a Spider-Man comic book come to life. This was everything I wanted and more, and if they keep this energy up, then the next movie is going to be so amazing. All they need to do is keep the same director and the same writers. Spider-Man is my favorite hero of all time. He means so much to me ever since I was a kid. I love what he stands for, the struggles he goes through, the heartache, but he's still strong enough to keep on moving forward. That being said, this will be a spoiler review, so you have been warned. The story takes place 4 years after No Way Home, and all of his friends are in their last year of college. In the opening scene, we see him fight a lot of his known villains and also some lesser known villains like Scorpion, Tombstone, Tarantula, Boomerang, Ramrod, and even the Hand. All these characters are only in the beginning montage except for Scorpion and the Hand. Regardless of that, it was still really cool to see them in live action. Spider-Man then runs into the new threat, who is this person in the shadows who is able to jump from person to person, and they clearly have a vendetta against Damage Control. So he must figure out who is doing this, all while working with Damage Control because he believes they're on the good side. And yes, the rumors were true. Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey, but that was pretty obvious, to be honest. But it's not the one that you know and love from the X-Men, well, not yet at least. She is still getting used to her powers, and she has a vendetta against Damage Control for taking her sister. This movie not having, I guess you could say, a conventional villain like Green Goblin is perfectly fine with me, because that's not really what it's about. We see Peter going through a lot of emotions in this movie, and he's literally pouring his whole life into being Spider-Man. I mean, we even see him using an app that tells him when the next crime is, and he has a new friend in the police force that says he's working a little bit too hard. I like to see Spider-Man struggle, and he even lives in this crappy apartment where he has all of his tech and computers that keep him updated on everything. We know that something is fishy about Damage Control, even though Peter does trust him in the beginning, but they're clearly the bad people. It's not until Jean keeps on messing with Peter because she couldn't get into his head that she goes after MJ that really pushes him over the edge. All this stress is really getting to him throughout the movie, which actually makes him mutate, and that's why he has the black eyes and can suddenly start shooting webs out of his wrists naturally, kind of like Peter 2, and he even mentions Peter 2 saying, this is a lot like him. I do think it's a very interesting twist of having overly stressful Peter start actually mutating more into a spider, and he starts having these changes, being stronger, more senses and all that stuff. Like I said earlier, this is the most comic book movie ever. This does exactly what every comic book movie should do. It feels like it's in the universe. Why? Not only do we see Spider-Man and also all of his side characters like MJ and Ned and also his villains that we all know and love, but we also get Punisher, we get Hulk, we get Yelena, we get Jean Grey, we get Damage Control. We get all these people that are in the Marvel universe that would not necessarily show up in a movie like this, but they are in this film. Just like in the comic books, when you have characters constantly have cameos of other characters that are in that universe. Why? Because they all live in the same universe. And so many other MCU and just comic book movies fail at doing this because you have a standalone Captain America movie, or you have a standalone Guardians of the Galaxy movie, or whoever it is, and it's only those base characters that are centered around them. It's never linking or mentioning any other character out in the world, even though they all share the same world. Spider-Man is in New York. Of course he's gonna run into Punisher. You know what I mean? So it makes sense, and that's what more movies should do to make these universes feel more alive. Speaking of Punisher, him and Spider-Man's relationship was so good in this. I love their like butting heads, but also like the friendship that does grow throughout. And this is the most screen accurate Punisher that we've had in the MCU. It's better than season 2 of Daredevil, even though that is a really good version of Punisher. It's better than Punisher in his own miniseries, and it's way better than the Punisher that we got in his one shot. This is the closest that we get to Punisher from the comics. I mean, he's setting booby traps. He has his skull on his chest the whole movie, and he's acting a lot like Punisher. It is fantastic. Also, finally seeing the Hulk like return to his Savage Hulk was just chef's kiss, amazing. I like that we see Bruce Banner in this movie, but seeing rampaging Hulk destroying stuff and like Spider-Man putting up a pretty decent fight against him, but also Frank fighting the Hulk as well. That whole action scene was a ton of fun. Speaking of action, every single fight scene in this movie was chef's kiss, amazing. I love when he fights the Hand, when he fights Scorpion, when he's fighting the Hulk. Just all the action scenes in general were just fantastic. All the use of his powers, his webs, his ability to sense people and to fling over people, just everything was so awesome. Speaking of movement, his web swinging is some of the best that we've ever seen in live action. It hasn't been since Amazing Spider-Man 2, I want to say, that we've seen this good of web swinging. The cinematography in this as well is so good. We get so many good freeze frame shots. We get so many good slow-mo shots. Just so many good, beautiful shots and just angles of the camera that just were so good in this. The movie is also a roller coaster of emotions. It will have you laughing, it will have you crying, it will have you at the seat of your chair. This movie is so intense, and you are just really going through the struggles that Peter is going through as well. I mean, I was going through an emotional roller coaster through the end of this movie. I was like, goodness gracious, like you're hitting me with everything right now. I mean, everything in this movie with MJ will have you tearing up if you have feelings, that is. But every scene, I loved every scene with MJ. It was just so good, and it really makes you feel for Peter in this movie. Also, the ending with Ned, when he finally does introduce himself as Peter finally, and he does the secret handshake, and you see that muscle memory come back to Ned, and he's like, what is happening? Oh my gosh, I love that scene. Chef kiss. The end credit scene has me super hyped for the next movie. I'm pretty sure what the Spider-Man tracker is tracking is the symbiote on somewhere out in space, and I'm pretty sure that J. Jonah Jameson's son is gonna go capture it like he does in the comics and bring it to Earth, and we're gonna finally get Tom Holland in the black symbiote spider suit, and we're gonna get Venom. And it's gonna be awesome, and it's not gonna be Tom Hardy, but it's gonna be legit Venom, and it's gonna be amazing. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I really didn't think another Spider-Man movie could top No Way Home, but somehow this movie did, and it was fantastic. And I'm not saying this just because I recently just watched this. I really do believe this is a better movie than No Way Home. I can't wait to see what happens next in this Tom Holland franchise, I guess you could say, and I'm super excited to see what happens in Avengers Doomsday. That being said, that's why I give Spider-Man Brand New Day a 9.8 out of 10. If you guys like this review, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more, hit that follow button, and as always, thanks for watching.